Welcome to the DTC Friday Night Football 2025 Meet the Coach edition. We're so glad that you're with us. We're also glad to have Coach Steven Jackson from Gordonsville High School. Coach Jackson is a 2003 graduate of here, and he came back in 2022. Coach, you and I have had a chance to talk several times now since you've been hired, and we just got finished talking a few minutes ago about what it means to come back to your alma mater. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think this is Gordonsville's a special school. It's a special community. Especially being, the football coach here. Friday nights, everybody shows up, town kind of shuts down. It's just something to come down Main Street knowing that, the lights are on and it's, football time. And it's just, like I said, everybody knows everybody. Coming back here in 2022, was able to, coach a lot of the guys and was had their parents, was classmates or,
right.
Coaches for sure. We had a bunch of coaches. It was my classmates or, I coached here, volunteer coach from 2005 to 2009. So, coach some of the kids now's dads. So, it's just a great place, a great community, and just the love of football here. It's something that a lot of places I don't feel like has. And, it's something that's always, it makes it easy coaching here because, the kids are going to love the game, parents are going to love the game, grandparents, all the community members.
They back you. And if you don't mind me saying, you came from Oakland High School, and that is, I'm sure it's been a night and day difference just because of the size of the school and whatnot. And, I tip my hat to you for being a football coach. That's a tough job. So tell me one thing, if you don't mind, Coach, about what the spring meant to you. Tell me maybe some upswing, some things that happened during spring that you were really excited about, and then maybe a couple of things or one thing, whatever, that maybe, hey, we could use a little work on starting with the new season.
Yeah, I thought we had a really good spring. I mean, we're fortunate here, and we try to get all kids to play multiple sports. We had, some guys in track. We had baseball players. We had a bunch playing basketball. We tried to, get kids to play multiple sports. So we had a lot playing baseball, but we, had a really good spring. Was able to get physical and try to work on our run game for sure. And I thought the guys did a great job with it. I thought, learning, a little bit of new things that we're trying to do offensively, defensively. Each year you try to fit your, offensive scheme, defensive scheme to the personnel you got and you think you're going to have. So they did a great job picking up on that stuff. And, had great attendance, we've had great attendance this summer. Kids are, enjoying being here. And that's
bought in.
If kids enjoy being here, then, working ain't going to be a problem, so they're going to be always willing to put in whatever time as long as they're bought in. Some things, I felt like from the spring, and, was probably leadership, just trying to get, our leadership better in our football program. And it started with me. I mean, just trying to, talk to our kids about, different things, different situations that happen maybe in a ball game, but, how it, relates to life,
Right.
Always, in a football game, you're always going to deal with adversity, in life, you're always going to deal with adversity. So it's all about how you respond to it. If you respond the right way, then, it's going to get positive results. If you, respond the wrong way, you're going to have a negative result, and you can make one thing happen that ends up being two or three bad things in a row. So
Domino effect.
Oh yes, definitely. So I think that was one of the big things, and obviously, the weight room is really important to our program. So it was something coming out of the spring that we wanted to, maintain during those 10 days or 8 days it was in spring, but we wanted to get stronger during the summer, and kids have done a great job coming this summer. We've we had a lift-a-thon and got our maxes and stuff, and even since then we're still hitting the weight room every day, so it's been really good.
Tell me this, how many seniors did you lose from last year? And obviously, and maybe tell us some spots that was important to you that you lost and you're having to fill for this coming season.
Yeah, I think it was around 10 that we lost last year, and it was 10 really good seniors, 10 seniors that meant a lot to our program, did a lot. big position we lost a lot was we had a lot of O-linemen. I think we lost 2 tight ends, and 3 linemen that started, on the offensive line, and they did a great job. I mean, I feel like we had a really good year running the football last year, and it was a lot because of what they, they did. And we had a senior tailback that ended up against DeKalb. Unfortunately, got hurt for the year, but so we was able to, some of those guys and some of our other guys was, banged up throughout the year. So we actually got a lot of guys reps up front, in a game. I know we started 2 games with a freshman center that's going to start this year as a sophomore. So it was, we don't ever want anybody to get injured, but, we always know about depth. You got to have depth because it's a physical ball game, and, road ankles or bumps and bruises always going to happen. So, but yeah, I think that was probably the big position that we lost a lot from last year. We lost Dalton Hancock. It was a big time receiver for us in DB. So, I mean, we've got people that played receiver last year that's got to step up and pick up what, kind of his numbers was last year.
Always tough to fill a spot of somebody that was bought into the program and gave as much as I know Hancock did. I'm a former wide receiver in high school and college, so anytime y'all were throwing the ball, I was happy. Coach would always give me a hard time, but tell us, Coach, how many seniors do you have this year?
We have 14 seniors this year.
Will all of them be starting, or the majority of them?
I think majority of them will start. Everybody will be a role player. Everybody's going to be, I think all of them will be on the field this year, which is awesome. This is the, so starting in 2022, this is the, the group that I had my freshman year. Or their freshman year was my first year. So, they've been in my program, since I've been the head coach for 4 years. So I'm excited to see, what they're able to do. And like I said, I think it's a really good senior class that they really bond well together. They all get along together. And that's one thing about our football team this year. I think the underclassmen see how the seniors get along, and I think they're, every one of them's getting along really well.
That's great. Building a bond and that camaraderie, man, that's huge. And then, as we were talking about a minute ago, you were talking about an injury. Unfortunately, in football, that's something that football's a very emotional sport. But then when you throw injuries on top of that and it ends a guy's career or his season or even puts him out for 2 or 3 weeks, that's tough to swallow. I've been in that boat, so I understand that. But unfortunately, and we don't like to talk about injuries, but unfortunately it's part of the game of football. Now we're going to step aside now here for a second, Coach, and we're going to forget football for a minute. I know you eat, sleep, and drink football. Tell me something that you like to do outside of football, whatever it may be. You tell us something that you enjoy doing.
I think the favorite thing is, spending time with my family. I mean, just a big family person. My wife, Brandy, my son, Lucas, daughter, Libby, and son, Hayden. So, it's just spending time with them, spending time with, my in-laws, spending time with, my wife's family and my family. Just, I think that's a big thing. I've tried golf. I heard you talking golf earlier. I tried golf and I ain't very good at it.
That makes 2 of us.
So, there ain't much, I'm very good at it. So but it's all about, there's so much time spent in coaching. I think that, the number one thing that, for me is definitely spending time with family outside of here, because I spend so many hours here. So, and luckily to, have a family that supports that, and, because, that's huge. Being a football coach or any kind of coach, having a family that supports you and wants you to be spending time watching film. I know when the season gets started, Saturdays and Sundays a lot of time.
Oh, yeah. And balancing that act, that's almost like a chess match on Friday night when you're trying to balance your football time along with your family time. That's kind of difficult. But listen, I want to say thank you so much, and best wishes to you, your staff, and your team this year. Thank you for having us on campus. And we thank you guys for joining us tonight as well. And we look forward to the rest of this night, also the rest of the season. We're going to see you a couple of times this year. And again, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for coming.
Yes, sir.